If you can't drive the ball, then you cannot play good golf. Being a good driver of the golf ball is crucial for you to enjoy the game more and shoot better scores. This is why it is so important we absolutely 100% nail our setup position, because if we don't, if we're out of position, we're gonna have to make compensations. Compensations lead to inconsistency, which leads to bad driving results. So in today's video, I'm gonna run you through the top 5 mistakes I see amateur golfers make and how you can fix them. So the first fault that I see is golfers with poor body positions and tilts. Now this often looks as one of two situations. The first one is where the upper body leans too much towards the target. Often this is because the ball's forwards and the amateur golfers are trying to meet that ball there. Or the second one is often a reaction to that one, where they get too much tilt and their upper body is now too far away from the target. Both of these situations can cause a whole heap of different results, and it's going to make you inconsistent. What I want you to do is grab your club, place it on the center of your chest, all the way down through your belly button, and hold it on your belt buckle. Now from here, just bend forwards, no tilt at this point, and you can see a tail has been created between my legs. Now what I want you to do is, without compromising your shoulders, is just gently push those hips slightly forwards towards the target to have this pointing just forwards the middle. And that's it, that's all the tilt we need. We only need a little amount of tilt, nothing too crazy. And this puts me in a fantastic position to where I can make a really nice, powerful golf swing that doesn't have to revolve around compensations. Mistake number 2 that so many golfers fall into is they have poor shoulder alignment at address. Now see your shoulders as sort of the rudder to your golf swing. If your shoulders are pointing left at address, then you are more than likely going to swing left through the ball. If your shoulders are pointing excessively right, they are more than likely going to swing to the right. Now, if you do this too much, too severe, you're going to start to see some really bad results. You're going to see a lot of pulls, slices, blocks, hooks, poor contacts, not what we want to see. Now, when we look at the best players in the world, we see that majority of them have their shoulders pretty neutral at address. What does this mean? Well, if I step up to the golf ball here, and this is a great drill for you to do, grab the club and put it on your shoulders, and right on your shoulders, and have this so the butt end of the grip points down towards the target. Now, from here, you will see the best players in the world will roughly have their shoulders pointing at the target or parallel left of target. Why? Because this encourages a relatively neutral club path on the way down. Now, some might be slightly one way, slightly the other way, depending if they want to hit a slight draw or a slight fade, but this is going to allow you just to get your club path way under control. Mistake number 3 that I see all the time is ball position, and wow, this is one of the most common issues that I see every single day on the lesson tee. We want to be hitting relatively level to slightly on the way up with driver. We will see long hitters like PGA Tour players, the actual average on the PGA Tour is 1 degree down. Now, they are some of the fastest golfers in the world, so let's take that with a pinch of salt. We see the LPGA players be a little bit more to 3 degrees. So let's take that as our zone, -1 to +3. That's roughly where we want to be. So with that in mind, we want our ball position to be in a position to where we can achieve that angle of attack very, very easily. So that means that the lowest point of our swing is roughly going to be underneath our left armpit, left shoulder joint. So at address, you want to position that ball somewhere underneath the left armpit to the edge of the left shoulder, somewhere in this region right here. I never want you to position the ball outside of your left shoulder, and I never want to position the ball too far back. So if you look from the front on view and you see that the ball is underneath your left armpit, left shoulder joint, fantastic. But if it looks like this and it's outside of your left shoulder, then you have the ball too far forwards. Also, if you look like this to where it's more underneath your left eye, left ear, it means it's too far back. This is going to create bad angles of attack. It's going to create too severe angles of attack, I should say. It's going to be very hard to control strike location, and you're going to have poor results. Feel like that ball is underneath the left armpit at address. If it is, then it's going to be so much easier to control strike and angle of attack, helping you hit better drives. Mistake number 4 that I see golfers get into all the time is poor shaft lean at address. The most common one is I see people get the shaft pointing too far back towards the belt buckle. Now the issue is from here, you'll often take your grip, and now when you bring the club back to square, so the shaft is relatively neutral, the face will be slightly open. And the reason for this is when we lean the shaft back, it actually points the face naturally more to the left. So a lot of golfers will twist it open so it points at the target, then they'll grip it. Then from there, when they return it back, it comes back open because of that compensation that they made at address. Conversely, I see some golfers have too much shaft lean. I fall into this category sometimes. And what then happens from here is as you come back, you would actually come back with less shaft lean at impact, and this can slightly close the face, creating situations where you can hook it. So again, shaft lean is so important. At address, we like to see golfers be anywhere from dead zero, basically meaning zero shaft lean, to slightly back. So dead zero to slightly back. And when I say slightly back, I'm literally talking like a couple of degrees. So if I use sort of my belt loop here as a great guide, if you have a good ball position, a good body position, and you point this at your belt loop, you are more than likely going to be in a perfect position. And what are we looking to see at impact? Anywhere from 0 degrees of shaft lean to a couple of degrees. So essentially what you can see is we just don't want to create too big of a disparity between setup and impact. We don't want it to be the same either. We need to allow ourselves to be able to rotate, which naturally adds some shaft lean. That's going to help you return your club back to a better position at impact to help you hit better drives. So mistake number 5 that I see golfers get into all the time is that they tee the ball up way too high. Now, I'm not talking about the castle tees. Even that, I think it's the orange castle tee is the highest castle tee. That's absolutely fine. I like that personally for my game. It's those massive tees that are just way too high, like you see sort of the long drivers use. Let's take long drive as a great example. It is great for distance. It's going to allow you to hit up on it. You're not going to spin it that much if you catch it in the middle of the face. Phenomenal for distance, but there is a reason why in long drive you have 8 balls to hit one in a grid the size of a football field width. So, you know, they are literally going for pure distance. They don't care about accuracy. Here we care about accuracy. Now, the scientific reason for this, I'm not going to get too technical because it will confuse some of you, is the more you start to hit up on it, the more your club path is actually going left of where your swing direction is. Because as soon as we start to go past 0 in terms of angle of attack and hit up, the club starts to actually arc in. So the more that happens, the harder it becomes to control the center of the club face and to control the rate of closure. If you're having to do that for a reason, let's fix the root cause issue and let's not mask it over with a tee height that's way too high. Now, what is a tee height that's way too high? Well, this is bordering on a tee height that's way too high. When you tee it up, if you see that the whole ball is above the top edge of the crown, that's way too high. The most that I would ever want you to tee it up, and this is the absolute most, is 1/3 of the ball being the same height as the top edge of the crown and 2/3 being above it. That's the highest I want you to tee it up, because after that, you're gonna have to start to help it up in the air too much, and from there, that's gonna mess up your strike location, and it's gonna make it very, very hard to be accurate. Here's what it should look like. Now, if you need more one-to-one help, I offer online coaching on the Skillest platform. The link is down below. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.